Welcome to a nutty adventure exploring personal growth and wellness, breaking down the stigma around mental health along the way. Let's dive in because now it's time to show me your nuts.
Happy Thursday, my nutty peeps. It is time for Show Me Your Nuts. And I am so excited today. You guys, I have I have somebody hanging out in the green room who's another host from the Breakthrough Show Network who brings the energy. We'll just call that the energy and brings some cool trivia that I just always love the little nutty nuggets that I learn and find out from her. So this morning, though, today's topic, we are talking about anxiety and sleep and how, they fight each other, right? There's something about, especially when you're trying to make yourself go to sleep, when you're like, oh, I need to get to sleep because I'm only going to get 8 hours. And then an hour later, you're looking at the clock or again and going, oh, well, if I can just get to sleep, I'll get 7 hours. And then if I just get to sleep, I'll get 5 hours. And next thing you know, you've had 2 hours sleep. You feel like crap. And it's because you're trying to force the sleep. And there's lots of things that go into that, and we can't fit them all into an hour. However, we're going to fit wherever we go with anxiety and sleep and that connection, or what I'm going to say disconnection probably between anxiety and sleep. As well as I don't know about you guys, but have you ever had a 2 a.m. Anxiety attack? You're sleeping fine, and all of a sudden you wake up 2 a.m., bing, wide awake and anxious as hell about something. Or you're up until 2 a.m. because you're spiraling anxious about something. I was going to say I think some of that is connected to menopause or post-menopause, but now that I'm thinking about it, the spiral up till 2 a.m., I've had that long before menopause. The wake up at 2 a.m. and can't get back to sleep, that shit started after menopause. So I'll say that one for my personal experience anyway. So I am going to save our How Charged Are Your Nuts. Normally I do that early, but I think I'm going to save that until after our guest gets here and do that one then. So I think we're going to jump in to and introduce our mystery guest of the day and get going, and then we'll see where we go. We'll do the How Charged Are Your Nuts after that, because we can. So without further ado, let's welcome our guest. Welcome to the stage, TDubs Squirrel. And I think your microphone, it might be on mute. There we go.
I do that. Woo woo. Hey.
Welcome to Show Me Your Nuts, finally.
Oh, thank you, Stacy. I've
One
never
of the
been in here.
hostesses of Spirit Sessions on Sunday, A View of the Light, a sister show here on the Breakthrough Show Network. How's your Thursday going?
Woo woo. Hey,
Whoop, whoop.
it's going good today. It's the first rest day and relaxation. So I'm so glad to chill with you today.
Oh, tell me about the first rest day and relaxation. Tell me about what that is. That your schedule?
No, not my schedule. Nope. Yesterday I had to certify for living here where I'm living. I had to certify to get food stamps again. And the day before that, we had to get our car back. So every day there was this something. So today it's like peace. Oh, wow. Nothing is needed from me too much right now. So that's what I call it.
I love that. Yes. Yeah. There, and I think that's also something that causes anxiety. So let's put a pin and and you don't always sleep well, or if you're not sleeping well, it doesn't work. I also wonder if the astrological energies are having to do with that this week. And there was something else I just thought of, and I disappeared out of my head. I think as entrepreneurs, we have different schedulings because people think entrepreneurs are at home eating bonbons. And instead we're doing the thing. And then when we get a day where it's like, oh my God, we can rest. That's when we, so we have the freedom with the flexibility. Whereas other people have these things called weekends I've heard about. And then they have these things called evenings I've heard about.
I miss those.
And this other thing called a vacation.
That's a myth.
Okay. Good. Cause I was just wondering, what in the hell is this? So does that resonate with you?
Well, yeah, when they tell us, be an entrepreneur and you could do your work from anywhere, Bali, the Caribbean. And it's like, you know why? Because you're not going to eat. You just put all your money into that vacation. And unless you have a client, you're not going to get to have that 5-star lunch, They don't tell you that. You've got to work at the beach because there's no end.
You're right. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, yeah. Does it resonate with your week? Do you think also just that fact of that nothing, there's not 5 million things needed from me today, and you have a day like that, and that we're able to hang out too?
Yeah. What I like about it is because now I'm present with you. And instead of carrying all that with me, okay, how long is this? Okay, it's almost over. No, you know what I mean? It's for the first time in a long time, today would have been a good day. I would have watched your show because I wasn't busy. Okay.
well, you are.
Now I am.
You're watching it from stage.
Of course.
Of course. So tell me more about, first, I think, it would be cool. We're talking about anxiety and sleep, but I want to, from that perspective, you've got such a amazing knowledge of energy and the Akashic Records and those things. Tell me about how the Akashic Records, Reiki, angel healing, and those things, how does that connect with sleep and anxiety from your perspective?
Okay, so this is pretty exciting because when you are open to other realms and you understand these things, that's more of a pool to kind of go in. It's like, oh, wow, I could worry about that too. And I was like, oh, neat. But no, originally my favorite time, because I really don't sleep past 2:00. On a bad night, I wake up at 11:30 at night, the night before, but most of the time I'm awake by 1:30 to 2:30. Okay. those hours
Wow.
were so precious. It's like, oh yeah, I can hear my spirit guides. And it's like so perfect. Like I ask a question, I get an answer. And it's like, whoa, wait, I got to take notes on that. Slow down, and I'm looking for paper. It's my favorite time, a deep commune. Oh no, now that the anxiety has hit me for over a year now, still going, I found that it's like my own personal, the game, not the movie, of Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's like something creeping up. Okay, I got that. I'm using EFT and I got that away. It's like, oh, now it's closer. So
It's almost like an adult version of Monsters Under the Bed.
maybe, yeah, maybe it is. And it's like, you can't sleep through that either. I'm up at that time. What I had to do was realize, okay, this anxiety is different than just when you have it and it goes away, because this one's not going away. I'm going to have to learn a new way to live, because I went to the doctor. They thought I had a UTI, called me back. You don't have a UTI. And I'm over here like I could barely breathe. I could barely move. I could barely walk across, sitting here, right here, like talking to Jessica, took all my energy in the morning, because I would still check in for the gym.
Oh wow, yeah. And if you've been up since 1 o'clock in the morning,
yeah, that's regular. And why I meet at the gym is because we're doing workouts. I knew I couldn't do the workouts because I was so messed up. I could only go like this, listening to the Bee Gees, Staying Alive. All I could do was go back and forth. But the day came where I felt a little better. So I did 2 songs. Oh, now I'm going to have fun doing this song. And now I'm going to move my arms, every day. And I had to crawl back to my life. I had to crawl back on the thoughts. Okay. Like you said, all the crash. Okay. Angels talking to angels, everything happening all at once is a lot for a body to handle. And so remember, this is all up here in our head. So to balance, we need to come back down to our heart, right? Which is where our intuition is, where we can listen to the angels and stuff. When you're up here working it out, they're just sitting there waiting for you to come down to here so you can listen. You know what I mean? So then once I got down to listening, okay, this is crazy. This is crazy. I have to control every thought all day now. This is hard. I'm not that kind of person. But what it came to is, well, listen to the body. Oh, yeah, let's listen to what does my body need? And it told me that I needed energy work. I needed to do Qigong and Tai Chi. And that has been some of my saving grace every day, because I already knew these things, right? I've already practiced that kind of energy movement. But with the anxiety and the sleeplessness, these are energies that are also sticking around all over in you, right? You got to move them, if you don't want them there. So slowly, I came back. I still don't think I'm completely done with this attack. But what I have mastered was, 1, I can hang on. I can hang on good, even though it feels like I'm losing my mind. So that gives me confidence that I'm not going to lose it, because you feel like you're going to lose it. I didn't know if I was sitting there 2 a.m., is tonight the night I go out the door and wander off? Am I supposed to bring my shoes with me? What happens if I have to go pee? Do I go in the forest, or do I knock on somebody's door? I mean, I'm wondering, how does this all happen? How do you go crazy? And so I said, wait, those are not my thoughts. Those are not the ones I want. And I had to slowly replace. And that's where the things, like, that's where you can use the EFT to replace
and
it.
the grounding and the
affirmations and the beautiful artwork.
And the neurographic art. Before I want to go into the neurographic art, Jessica just dropped us a hello to the squirrels and the dragons.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you, Jessica.
They can be friends. Squirrels and dragons are good friends. Yes.
And I think, we see you, Ducky. We see you.
Our blue duck. Ooh,
I love that you bring in, the grounding, because I think when we're anxious, we spiral and we go all sorts of places, right? And you can follow the monsters under the bed and like freak out because of them, or you can be worried about your bills. and money, and you can spiral in, because once you think of one thing, then it's like, oh, but and this, and oh, wait a minute, this, and oh, wait a minute, this, and it just keeps going and going, right? And it's how do you then, as our friend Sang likes to say, pause.
Oh, yeah.
And, step back, pause, take a breath. But when you're spiraling, how do you stop yourself, I think is hard. And what I love from your story is, you'd go to the gym and you wouldn't be able to do much, but just the rock back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to do the one little thing. And then that just by itself had you feel just a tiny, tiny bit better.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, well, wait a minute. Then let's see if I can do another little bit and another little bit. I think also is learning and putting those things in place when you're not spiraling. The important part is learning and putting the habits in when you're not spiraling, so that when you spiral, those are there. Your brain goes, oh yeah, wait, we need to do this.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And I think that kind of this is where I'm thinking that, or where no, I'm not just saying I have personally, and I don't even have any of my neurographica near me. I personally, things like Zentangle and neurographica, which are related, but they're not the same, right? Okay. But Zentangle is the one I found first. I would work and do Zentangles purposefully through the day.
Yes.
And it was a way to and if you don't know what it is, it's purposely a way to ground, is because it's really good when you have anxiety, is to literally just take any kind of piece of paper, and all you need for doing Zentangle is piece of paper and a pen. You can get super fancy, you can get all sorts of fancy, but if you have so like somebody who, I love it because somebody who's homeless, as long as they can get a hold of a pen and a piece of paper, they can do this. And I say that just that, when you don't have resources, no matter how you may not have resources, and that you take that piece of paper and it's a purposeful way of drawing repetitive designs so that you go into the moment. So it's like you set a timer or look at whatever clock, and for the next 15 minutes, this is what I'm going to do.
Yes.
And it gives you kind of like Pomodoro in a way, but where you focus in on the thing, and it focuses in on where you're repeating the pattern. And so that all you're doing really is you're getting lost in repeating these patterns, and that getting lost in that grounds you.
Yeah. So
that's Zentangle. And even though I know what neurographic is, could you tell them what that one is, Teresa? Because I think it's even cooler, really.
All art is cool. Okay, we got to start with, it's expression. You could do it with a stick and dirt. Okay, it is the greatest. And I remember those days. So how my granddaughter was showing me something one day that they were doing at school, and she, I can't really do it. So she left that there. And then years later, I'm looking at something. I go, oh, wow, here's a video about what my granddaughter was trying to tell me, And so I never took a course on this, okay? But I've watched like 20 videos of different people teaching, and I did take one class, I guess, but it wasn't like
I bet we watched the same videos too, T.
Okay, maybe because they were neat, but the thing was, everybody was saying, okay, this is the only way to do it, and that's not, and they were all not saying the same things. So I that wasn't confusing me. Okay, it wasn't. It was like, okay, I'm going to use this. I'm going to draw it. And then I found out, because you learn for a while and then you practice, right? And so when I was practicing it and the questions would come up and then I'd look up videos, I ended up coming up with kind of my own style. And it's very close to what the stained glass window kind of a style is.
Ooh.
Okay. And so everything on this that I think is unique, I could actually look up. If you go Google neurographic art, because it's so fun to even look at it sometimes. It's like, oh my God, somebody does what I do right there. Oh, that. So there's really nothing new that can be thought of, but the creativity is still free to express the way it expresses through you. And the way you're saying a good focus of 15 minutes, I compare this. If I'm working on an affirmation here, usually I start with working like I did this all through my inner child class. Beware, it's gonna have lots of transformation and you got to be ready. But I would take something that I was having an issue with, my trigger, let's say. I focus on my flaws and not my strengths. So I write that down, and then because there's 4 different ones, that's why I made this different. But I picked the one. So I'm working on, oh man, all I can see is my flaws. So here I draw all the way across the page, no line looking like the other. If they want to loop, I am just flowing, but I'm reminding myself, yeah, I don't look at my strengths. I only look at my flaws. I kind of reminding. Then the next part is I go back and I change this. I feel empowered when I focus on and celebrate my strengths. So see, that's where I'm changing it to.
There's the shift. There's the shift.
That's my shift. And it's different because I could look at different points. Maybe it's my focus that's off. I mean, so whatever it is for me. And so that was my shift. And then I come back in here and then you round all the corners. Everywhere a line crosses is like an intersection. And that's like conflict because we're working with the neural cells up there.
And it's so interesting that the graphic itself lends to ending up looking like neurons in our head.
Don't they?
The dendrites and the neurons, even though that's not really, well, it is and it isn't. So it's like energetically, we're making those rounded pieces and we're softening our own neurology.
Yes. That whole time.
We're healing our own neurology by doing that. And I would agree. I have sat in on some of Teresa's classes. So Teresa has classes in the Breakthrough Show Network on neurographic art and on meditation. I think you've done some meditation ones, inner child work. And those are all things that I think you have to do. You need to do those kind of things when you're not anxious, so that when you do have the anxiety, you're putting things together in your head. The way I teach, so I teach my therapy clients this, is I teach them to create a mantra for themselves.
Oh, okay.
And they create it by using the word breathe and then a word that is a trigger, whatever the trigger is. So just for sake of thinking about it, like the word breathe, and I'll use my original one for me. It was my brother used to chomp his cereal.
Oh,
because he could, and it was because he couldn't breathe.
Yeah, the nose don't.
But I was a teenager and didn't see it that way, and I would and I have misophonia, so I'd go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds flat, which is 0 to 60 in rage, in 2 seconds flat when he would chomp his cereal. So when I learned this idea, I took the word breathe and I took the word chomp and then breathe. And so I wrote down the word chomp and wrote down the word breathe on a sticky note and put it like in the bathroom. And I put another one in the kitchen and I put another one. I put them in different places. And when I teach my clients this now, I say, hey, go to Canva, take a picture of the thing that means your trigger to you, and a picture of what means breathing to you, and put it on your phone.
Nice.
And so every time you see that picture or the sticky note, you say to yourself, chomp, breathe, chomp, breathe, chomp, breathe, as often as many times as you can.
Yeah.
Something's going to distract you and take you away, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And so for the first week, all you do is just when you see the sticky note or thing, you repeat the mantra. Then the second week, I teach them 1, 2, 3, 4 breathing, or box breathing.
Oh, yeah.
Where you go in through your nose at a slow count of 4, hold it for a slow count of 4, out through your mouth,
My favorite.
And yes. And so we do. And then, so that second week, all you do is practice the breathing. And then the third week, we put it together of every time you think of the word chomp, and you still like are putting the mantra together the whole time. And so then by the time we've gone about 21 days of reminding yourself chomp, breathe, chomp, breathe, chomp, breathe.
Yes, yes.
And you've learned the breathing.
Yes.
Then what you've done is you've built a neurological connection between the word chomp and the word breathe, so that anytime I would hear the chomping, it reminded me to stop and take a pause, saying, I know you see this, take a pause and breathe. And so that's why I think like learning the things like neurographica, learning breathing exercises as they are, even you could do chomp or anger run, where you teach yourself to go for a run if you're an exercise person, or go for a walk, or whatever the thing. I just use breathe because that's an easy thing. You can do that 1, 2, 3, 4 breathing without anybody in the room knowing that you're doing it, right? So I love that the neurographica not only is something you can learn to put in place when that happens, but when you're doing it, you're also building additional neural connections.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a colorful toolbox, I tell you.
Yeah. And so I'm curious also, when it comes to Akashic Records.
Ooh, yeah.
Are there connections or not? If there are connections, I'd like to know, tell me what the connections that we might be able to use between, or, how can like Joe Blow down the street connect to the Akashic Records to help them get out of that 2 a.m. spiral?
Okay. It's true. Anyone can connect, but it takes a lot of training and practice to do so.
Sure.
So any Joe, like let's say my neighbor who's wild with anxiety, it spills over to here, and I put up a stone grid to help me from not, I have enough of my own. I can't take no more. And so it's the thing is, okay, like all these things that we're talking about, all these tools, they're really a beautiful way of talking to ourselves in a new way, of catching what we're doing and not being mean to ourselves about it, and instead doing something with it, whether it's artistic expression or not. So if one was going to go to come to me for an Akashic reading, I'd be able to show them that what kind of patterns, okay, because there's loops. You could recognize all kinds of loops while you're sitting there. It's all coming in. You think it's all so fast, but you'll recognize, oh my God, that's the same argument I've had with my grandmother for the last 50 years coming up. Why is that? Why is this coming up? There's all kinds of things while your brain is speeding around. There's things coming. And then we could show you and look, let's see where some of these things come from. Let's slow down and let's look. And then you can see, oh, and then a lot of the times it's a matter of convincing yourself, I'm not in that same situation anymore, but look what it was then. And look at the skills I used to get through at that time. And look what it's also built in me, because there's often skills that we've had to build that we just didn't have. But because of our life situation, we had to build them. But on the other hand, while all that's going on, there's inner strength growing. And that's my job, to show them, look at your inner strength here. You didn't know it, but all along, your spiritual strength was building and growing. And here you are now checking back in. Here you are now.
It's like we're building our spiritual neurons.
Yes.
Right. And I think probably I want to rephrase what I had said earlier, is because, I don't know anything. I know just the tiniest bit about even what the Akashic Records are. And I mean, I may know more than like, my neighbor or so maybe, and so one, just knowing what they are, but certainly to be able to connect with that and do a reading, I don't want to imply that just Joe Blow can. I mean, somebody can learn. You can learn those things. Yes,
they can. Yes,
but going working with someone who does know how to do that and how to read those energies and how to apply that and how to help guide somebody to show them where their spiritual neurons are, I think is, you know, you want to go to somebody who has that experience. And so I don't want to diminish, I don't in any way want to anybody to think I was diminishing that, because that is a that takes study, it takes learning. You can you know, we all can do it, quote unquote, but
Yeah.
it does take learning, and I want to honor your expertise in that. And that's where I was like, I love your description of how that reading is and what you do to be able to show someone, oh, while you were doing this, this was all happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's the perspective. When I'm over there in the Akash, I'm getting messages from the whole team, from the angels, the ascended masters, and I'm getting messages, and they see everything we go through entirely different than the way we look at them. Oh, this is such a tragedy. They're not saying that. They're going, oh, look, that skill's getting ready to pop through. Oh, yes. Or, you know, I mean, it's a whole different thing when you see it through your angel's eyes or through the other eyes. You
so
know
it's
what
like
I mean?
a human spectator sport. They're watching the humans from the spiritual side going, oh, look, there's a Stacy game on tonight. She's going to do this and this and this. Watch. She's going to figure this out any minute now. Oh, yes. She saw it differently than we did.
But see, there's those so special moments, isn't it? And that's really how we learn. Because why would we have these lives that are not just perfect, that just what we want? Because we choose our lives before we come in. We choose our parents. All that's there. Why? Because you came in not just to have a picnic, really, okay? Although you may have scheduled that, okay? I came in for the Beatles and the guacamole and maybe the Bee Gees. And the Bee Gees, okay? I'm going to...
And the dragons.
And the dragons. I am the dragon, so they're always with me. So
TDubs is the dragon. You make sure you guys hear that one. TDubs is the dragon.
Well, I could be the walrus, right? I am the walrus, so I am the dragon. Woot woot instead of goo goo. Yeah, so you got it. So when we go to the Akasha, or even a person like listening to their intuition, the beauty is getting that different perspective, because goes wall again and again if nothing changes. Now that's
mic drop.
Ain't it though? Boom, boom. This is me trying to ride the tricycle around the corner, hitting the wall. Okay, I would do it again and again because it worked the other time. Why doesn't it do it now? Okay, I could spend my whole life like that. That's a lot of energy. Now that I'm over 60, there's too much energy spent on that. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just going to do the inner work. This is too hard. Okay. So I'm changing my mind. There's a whole lot of things that we could carry around. Oh yeah, family grudges, this, that. It's like that stuff takes energy. I'm leaving this at the door.
Like somebody cutting you off in traffic, and then you spend the next week pissed off that somebody cut you off in traffic. And it's like, wait a minute, you're going to spend that much of your energy of your, and I'm going to call time being energy, because, you know, our subconscious mind doesn't understand time the same way we do. It's not linear, and it really doesn't even exist there. And but for us, we use the word time. And I think for, on the spiritual side, it's better to say energy. And we use all that energy being pissed off at somebody cutting us off in traffic. Meanwhile, the person that cut us off in traffic, they're pissed because the server didn't give them their drink refill in time, you know, or whatever, you know. It's like, and we've got this web, then the societal neurons, if you will, that are this web of all of us being pissed off at each other. Or do we go, that person must have had, you know, they must have been in a hurry to get somewhere, and maybe they needed to, and I hope they're safe when they get there.
Yeah.
That shift of viewing them cutting you off to something else. And then I don't carry around being pissed off the whole time, and I've sent them a tendril of good energy, hoping they're safe.
Yeah.
right?
I love that you use tendril. Yeah, I love that.
Well, I'm like literally picturing everything we're talking about today. We've got neurographica.
Oh, good.
We've got
Yes.
the
Yes.
neurology of our 2 a.m. spirals and our in our conscious mind. We've got the Akashic records of the connections and we've got the spiritual neurons of the Akashic records, and then
Yeah.
we've got the societal neurons. I think you and I are creating a whole new language here this morning.
Ooh, I can feel that. I'm seeing all kinds of pictures that you're painting in my head right now. I see one of yours. Do you want to hear one of yours?
Please. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, yes.
I do see a past life of yours where you it was a matriarchy you lived in, so it was like where women ruled. But when I say rule, I'm not meaning like with a whip or nothing. It was just the ones who had the intuition and the know-how and could use them in the moment for wit were the ones who did that. So it very well could be a Lemurian. But when I think about Lemuria, it's kind of come forward from that. And what you are is you're leading a group of women. And the way I see you're coming down out of a hill right here, and you're coming forward. Oh, you guys are bringing gifts and things. What you're doing, you brought a feast. So you're bringing a feast of wisdom to speak and food to nourish to somewhere else. And that's really what I see for you. Now we can go on and spend time like, well, why? What was going on here? Is there some ceremony? What were you guys doing? We could look more. But what I was seeing is that you were the one leading this. You were leading the women. It's not a war. Peaceful thing you were doing. You know this? You remember it?
The hair on my arms just stood up. I don't entirely remember it. I do feel like I am attempting to recreate it, though.
Feel them. Feel their energy of them on your left and behind you. The women, you guys have all been working on something together. Like I said, I think you guys have brought things to help people. And you all come bursting through out of the forest at the same time as you come down this hill, bringing sunshine, light, and wisdom to some people that needed it, is what I'm keep feeling.
Mm-hmm. That's craziness in this human life's version of seeing things. At the same time, for me, in my own spirituality and not spirituality and in all of my beliefs and things, that resonates so hard with me.
Because you were a shaman, but these people around you, you train them. So you keep claiming that they're your children and stuff. But I see that they're not your physical children. These are people that you have personally helped to raise up. And so this is so much why you're doing a lot of the work you do now. One, because some of these people are still coming to you that have helped you before, and they need to be reminded who they were back then when they were with you. And it's like, oh yeah, you've got this. So they come to you to remember energetically. Maybe they never remember to the front of their mind, but energetically they do. They're returning to you because you're still their leader. You're still their healer, their mother.
Okay, this is something that I don't know if you know this about me. That now one of the pieces that just came to me is I don't know. This is wild. Live on air, you guys are witnessing this. That as a social worker, I have had a career of 30 years of doing the work. Originally in high school, I was going to be an engineer out of high school. I wanted to go and do computer science engineering and ceramic engineering on the space shuttle.
Ooh.
Sally Ride had a big influence on me. Well, life happened, boys happened, and I ended up taking a turn and changing what I was doing. Well, some of the things that came back are I also am now a lamp worker, which is working with hot glass, and hot glass and ceramic are related.
Oh, really? Neat.
And I have continued my love of tech. People who know me, got Techxiety. I solved that because I speak fluent tech. I can translate between tech and human and help people program this thing and this thing.
Yes.
But the social workers, I also have taught graduate school to and done supervision with, who I call my baby social workers.
Oh, how cute.
And in social work, we work for advocacy, social justice. We help people shift their perspectives. We bring them through to the journeys.
Yes.
And
yes.
I have a group of people out there who know I'm their social work mom. And my mentor, who is now, I guess you say she's probably a spirit guide for me now.
Oh, nice.
Because she's over there. Lee is kind of like in a way, she's one of my social work moms.
Yeah.
Right. And we can trace our social work lineage back to the suffragettes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because if you think about it, because it was about 100 years ago, a little over 100 years ago, where the profession of social work was born, if you will. Yeah. One of the famous originators of the profession is Jane Addams, who created the settlement house movement in Chicago. And she is the person who, like, if you ever ask me what's your favorite quote, it's a quote from her that says, ethics is indeed the sole medium of expression. No, ethics is indeed the sole medium of expression of ethics, like the action. Your ethical actions are your expression of your ethics. In other words, a different way of saying that is doing what you say.
Yes.
Shows what your ethics are behind it. Your
neat.
Actions.
Yeah.
And anyway, so but then I call those suffragettes and like Jane Addams and that group of women, all of the suffragettes that helped fight for women's right to vote, and fought for lots of women's rights in England, in the UK and here. I call them the grandmothers.
Yes,
because
I see
to
why.
me, they're like the great grandmothers. And it's strange that like here we are 100 years later still fighting for some of the things that they did, but advocacy is woven in to that profession of social work. And in order to have it, we also have this intergenerational, my teachers were my social work moms, and then their moms and their moms and their moms and their moms. And we've got this family tree that all goes back to those women.
Isn't that neat? It really traces all the way back. Because see, now that proves.
I know it does.
It proves that this is a lineage. And I've never looked at, because, I've always been on the other end of the table from y'all in this social work, right? I've been like, please don't 5150 me. My rocks are not to throw at people. They're good things, or, the things that you got to.
Right.
So anyway, I've been on the other side of it, but I've never thought there's a whole lineage of ways to help people, and caring and giving, and the advocacy. Is not just speaking for the people who can't speak, but showing them what they can do for themselves within,
helping them do the connection. In a way. And it's what brought me to the healing type of work, like what you do, to be curious about it and learn more about it. Because when I first was trained, we didn't even talk. We asked people, we might have asked people what their religion was, maybe in an intake kind of form, but only really for writing down what it was and putting them in the category, like, all the categories we write on forms that are all man-made anyway. And then we started going, well, wait a minute, how come we're not talking about spirituality? We shifted, thankfully, from religion to spirituality. And how come we're not talking about that when we're doing therapy with people?
Yeah.
Right. And so we started doing that. And that was like in the late 90s. We finally started like talking about it. And finally it was okay to talk about in sessions to help people understand that, or to honor the diversity in the spirituality. The next shift I saw, though, has been in the last, I think it's right now, to be honest. Because it has never been kind of okay to practice as a spiritual healer at the same time you're practicing as a therapist. And my question is, why not? Because they're a whole human.
Because that's the shaman way. That's what you're talking about. It's a whole human. How many times have people gone to a shaman for help and they say, well, when's the last time you danced? Or, you know what I mean? It is the healing work. It's a beautiful marriage together, those two fields.
And I see it's interesting. It's really like, this isn't where we thought we were going to go today, but we go where, we're going to where sleep and anxiety, and sleep is our sleep is where we have that, to me, I think, is where the veil is thinner.
Yes.
When we get right before sleep and right after sleep.
Yeah, dream time.
In that dream time. And I personally do a lot of, I do a lot of work when I'm sleeping. I do communications, and in my own learning, I go over and learn. And I purposefully, sometimes I'll go and like nap or not nap.
Oh, yeah.
But I will go to bed early, or I will sleep late because I love my sleep. Just like I could sleep like a teenager anytime. Given the not have a meeting at whatever time.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm 57, but I could still sleep like a 16-year-old easy.
How
neat.
But
it's different now. Then it was because, whatever. I don't know if it was lazy or, hormonal changes.
Growing takes energy.
Now it's because I want to go over there and do the communicating. I want to do the inner learning.
Are you lucid or hypnagogic? What state are you in?
I've never that I understand. I don't know that I've had lucid, but I do a lot of
because of the images.
Yeah, I do a lot of actually self-hypnosis or things when I go to bed, and I'll do intention setting. Okay. And then do either a guided meditation or a hypnosis before I go to sleep, and then whatever. And then sometimes I don't, and I just end up, like they show up and talk to me, and I'll wake up having had a full whatever. But I didn't used to use those things with my clients until I took NLP.
Oh, neat.
So when I did my master practitioner training in 22, then I started weaving it all in. Although personally, I've gone to a hypnotherapist for 17 years.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
I never ever would have dreamed of even learning it. At that time, I was like, oh, well, this is cool. It works. It's amazing, but I don't want to learn it. Now I'm like, oh, I wish I would have learned it 17 years ago instead of 4.
because now you can get into the QHHT, which
it's the center of my work now is I use intuition, I use hypnosis, I use NLP, I use traditional therapy things. I use the hypnosis and things first though, because unless you can get somebody to help get rid of their baggage.
Okay. Yeah.
Things like, and I've said this on this show before, and my colleagues can love me or lump me for it. Things like cognitive behavioral therapy are evidence-based in Western science. Everything else is evidence-based in indigeneic science. It's been around longer than, and they want to do, all insurance companies want you to do in evidence-based things.
Yeah.
And what they don't realize is sometimes when you're doing some of those things and talk therapy, you're actually reinstalling negative stuff for people. You're helping them reinstall their trauma. And when I realized that that's how I'd been trained, and that's what I'm like, no, I'm here to heal. I'm not here to, and it's not because it wasn't ever done intentionally. It was done because Western science said we had to do evidence-based, and that's what that kind of science has as an evidence right now.
You know what it's like? There's a small town and the town builds up around it, but it's not working right because nothing has gone back to the core. And that's the part that you're talking about. Just
that's what I think. That's what I think is cool about right now, the time we're in. If you've heard of Dr. Bruce Lipton, Biology of Belief. Okay. Yes. Guess who was born on his birthday?
Oh, really? Oh, how neat is that? Oh,
and
I love
my
him.
NLP teacher actually knows him. So I'm like 2 degrees from Dr.
Oh,
Lipton.
we can get him on spirit sessions then. Let's do this.
Well, I'd love to. I don't know if that's but I'm gonna put that one in the thing. Is that I see and it's happened for a long time now, but I think it's happening faster, that Western science and indigeneic science is it's the only thing I can think to call it, but the esoteric wisdom, the old stuff, the Akashic, the what my spiritual healer friends know and what my scientific friends know. And finally, they're finally coming together, because the science is coming together, seeing it from that quantum physics lens. And the spiritual people are going, hello, yes, we've been sitting here waiting on you, and then, but that's where we're finally going to connect to the two, where, I mean, I can't think of how long ago he wrote that book, but Biology of Belief, that's the connection. And I don't think that was the first time. I think he was an outlier in his field for sure. And still is brilliant about how science and spirituality are finally coming together. The old science coming together with what Western science, which is like, it's more of the new. But I never would have thought of that this is me doing that replay. You've kind of blown my mind this morning, my sister. You've kind of I didn't expect to hear that that's where my journey was. Even though part of me it's like, well, hello, that's what you've been doing.
You can feel it picking up, can't you? Because now's the time. Before was not the time. The world was not ready. Now both you and the world are.
And this morning I have a weekly coffee every Thursday morning. You and I were talking about this earlier before the show. Every Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Central, in the quantum quaff. And it's called that on purpose. Quaff being your thirst and drinking. Nice. You don't have to drink coffee. You can drink whiskey. If you go in there right now, Alice will pour you a peanut butter whiskey. But we talk about we talk about everything, but when we really get going, then there's a certain group of people in there. We'll get to talking about quantum things. And what I mean by that is those spiritual, where the spirit and the science meet.
Yes.
And this morning we were having a discussion about that, about the esoteric wisdom, and about the age of Aquarius, and that it wasn't time yet.
Yeah.
The Piscean age was about, learning how to learn, basically. And then the Aquarian age is going to be learning. I think I see it as learning how to intuit. And I see my journey finally as, I was supposed to learn how to learn before everybody else, and learn how to do this before everybody else, and this before everybody else, and this before everybody else, so that I could be one of the teachers, so that I could bring that forward when it came time. And literally that was hitting me this morning. Before you and I came in here, you weren't even in coffee this morning. Physically on the camera. But maybe you were, and those kinds of wild, like we think about it as wild connections, until you learn and realize we all planned this before we got here. You and I planned to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Next week, are you guys doing anything in spirit sessions about the planetary lineup? Speaking of energies, and speaking of energies that could make you anxious. So let's go back to anxious and sleep. Energies this next week that could make people, you might feel more anxious, you might feel more spirally, and it may be because of the energies in the lineup right now. There are going to be, I think they said 7 planets are lined up in Aries right now.
Woo-hoo.
Well, and they've looked in the one of the astrologers I follow, and this was in November, I heard about it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He was saying in November that he had done, like, for lack of a better word, research, looking back in all of the written astrological records, the records of anything astrology of the study, and could not find any time in that these 7 planets would line up in Aries. So it's a first time in the written history of astrology. And that many planets.
They say since the beginning. I've heard since the beginning of creation, it hasn't been that way, perhaps.
Oh, news from we should do a segment called the Akashic News. news from the Akashic side says that this hasn't happened since then. And yeah, and so there's this lineup of planets in, and Aries being the beginning of
Yes. Beginning.
the of the cycle, and the cycle ending in Pisces.
Yes.
I've recently learned about myself. I'm 28 degrees of Pisces in Aries.
Oh, neat.
I am supposed
Yes.
to, and what they said is that I am the threshold keeper.
Yeah.
I am the one who is supposed to help guide people from their endings to their beginnings.
Another name is a doula. A doula.
A threshold doula.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I love that one. So you're blowing my brain up. I have loved hanging out. We didn't even put in time for a commercial or a how charged are your nuts.
Oh, sorry.
But let's do the how charged are your nuts now. Let's pull one of those. So how charged are your nuts is like a scale of 1 to 10, from 1 acorn to 10 whatever. I want to let you come up with the question that we're going to ask everybody watching. So from a scale of 1 acorn to 10, give me an object or a thing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, give you an object.
So 1 is acorn. 1's always acorns.
Right.
But 10, you could call it whatever you want.
Okay. And 10 is good. It's a good energy.
Yeah, 10 is good. Yeah, 10 is good.
Like the fire dragon, ready to go.
Oh, 1 acorn, 10 fire dragons. So somewhere in between, because it could be 6 fire dragons.
Yeah.
So from 1 acorn to 10 fire dragons, how charged are your nuts about? And I want to let you come up with the question.
Oh, so we can go about anything now.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So we're finding out how charged are the audience's nuts about the question.
Okay. How charged are you, audience, about getting good sleep at night?
Woo! Woo! How, on a scale of 1 acorn to 10 fire dragons, how charged are your nuts about getting good sleep at night? I think, and Teresa and I will watch the chat and come back and help give you some pointers on how to deal with that. If your nuts are only charged at like 2 acorns, then you want to get to 8 fire dragons or 10 fire dragons.
Yes.
Because Teresa can help you get to 10 fire dragons.
Yes. Today.
By showing you your different perspective shift in either the Akash, or by helping you with Reiki, or talking to your spirit guides.
Yeah.
And the contact information for you is in the show notes. So you guys go follow my dear sister TDubs, and Sunday mornings are at 11 a.m. Central. Is that right? 11 Central.
Central, yeah.
Spirit sessions on the Breakthrough Show Network. So obviously follow the Breakthrough Show Network, and go watch Spirit sessions on Sunday morning, because you will have insights and shifts.
I'm the guest on my own show this Sunday, so I could tell
you're
you
the
about
guest
on you want. Yeah.
Are you gonna like change hats and be like the guest and the hostess?
I could do that. No, those two can't wait to ask me questions.
So they're going to be asking. So you have 2 interviews this week. And then next week, everybody, hold your energy gently. Hold yourself gently, because the energy, it's April 17th is the day these 7 planets are supposed to align.
Right on.
I keep getting, it's going to be big energy, and the world may totally shift. So there may be some things happen this week that are scary, new,
it's
different,
still exciting,
good, all sorts of things. And but with it, it comes a lot of energy. And I think sometimes we feel that energy as the anxiety. We feel it as not being able to sleep. We feel it sometimes as just our own self, and it feels heavy to a lot of people. And just remember that it's a good thing, because it's beginning of an entire new, not just a 1 year cycle, not just a 26 year or a Saturn return cycle, 29, whatever, not just a 250 year cycle that the United States is on. That cycle's starting again in July, and there's things coming then too. And not just a 2600 year cycle, which were our 2000 year cycle ish. There, my friend Etta said there's also a 26,000 year cycle that we're going. And you just said from the Akash that it's actually, we're at a place where we've never been before.
Yeah. We're in a whole part of space. Us on Earth, our spaceship here on Earth here, we are in a whole new part of space than we've been in. I mean, we bring all of our neighborhood with us, but
Right.
we really are. And those photons and that light energy, we are getting more light, more light.
And did you see the pictures of the Earth,
Oh yeah.
from the Artemis 2?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, my inner girl that was going to be an astronaut has been so excited this week. And to think that, like, I was quite young, but I saw Apollo take off when it did. I saw the first Apollo. There's pictures of me in a living room watching that on TV. But when they walked on the moon, my brother wasn't even alive yet. And he was born literally 2 years to the day they walked on the moon. So he's 2 years younger than that day. But all the astronauts that are on Artemis, none of them were born yet.
Oh.
It's weird for me to wrap my head around. My baby brother wasn't even here the last time we were at the moon.
Yeah.
So like Apollo being, or the farther, the last time we were at the moon, my brother wasn't even alive. And that we're both in our 50s and we're back there. And the vibrancy of the colors of the photos, are so, just the experience, we were all watching it on YouTube as opposed to listening to Walter Cronkite.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
The first ones is, Walter Cronkite. I can't speak. And I believe Dan Rather. And Dan Rather was a very young man at the time. And so like it's just wild to experience that, and then to watch the kids, to watch the littles get excited about all of this and getting them excited about space again. So and I think yes, our universe, like you said, so they were also saying that Earth looked, the Earth shine, they called it, which is the reflection of the Earth, the reflection of the sun from the Earth when they did a purposeful eclipse.
Yeah, I saw it.
They planned to fly purposefully so that the moon would be in front of the sun and do an eclipse.
That's how you see the auras,
Yeah, and so then I haven't seen. I need to look up. I haven't seen the pictures from that because they downloaded all of them. We watched it live. We watched it live on YouTube. We watched it happen. But that earth shine in those pictures. But the other pictures they sent before that are the ones I've seen, and there's just the vibrancy of the colors. And yes, it's that the cameras are better. But is it also because we're more vibrant now here, energetically?
Yeah. The message I keep getting is those colors are truth. There are truth in those beautiful colors.
Yeah. All of us here, and that we're finally getting ready to, we're literally as a plant. I know it's as humans. For sure. As humans, are we crossing a new threshold all the way around? It's not just a 1 year area thing. And the Aquarian age it's not just that however long the Aquarian age was or the Piscean age was. It's more than that, is what you said.
Well, that's why it's all happening like this, because the energies of the Aquarian age, and I just gotta shout out Marilyn McCoo in the fifth dimension, the age of Aquarius. We have been waiting for the dawning, the light. And so
Age of Aquarius is not just a song.
Yes,
however, it is a great song.
Yeah, get chills. I just love her.
I get more chills now because of knowing what the age of Aquarius is. When I was a kid, I just thought it was a song.
That Marilyn McCoo and I mean the fifth dimension, they knew all this, and they were already waiting for all this. They had full understanding. I've only just learned it all like in the last 12 years or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's beautiful that they were already there leading us in a way. But this is why, that's why the Piscean age is, because it needed things to be ending. That's a time of good endings, because all the things that ain't working can't go with us. The energy is raising higher photons, higher being, returning from the carbon to crystalline based people. It's a whole thing. So it's a whole evolution happening, and this is how it is. It doesn't tickle, it doesn't feel great, but this is what we're here for. And even if you do nothing, even if you sit, you are holding the light, and that light is what's helping all of this to happen. It's helping the communication that needs to be there just by being here. Now, if you are going out and doing things, well, then, you get to interact with all this beautiful new energy. There are things coming on for us that have been taken away like 10,000 years ago, because we're going up from 3D to 4D to 5D. Mm-hmm. Now we get to do more of the things. Talk about Akashic memories. Nobody's going to have to know how to read them, because it's just a part of who you are now. You know this information.
You'll know it,
and you could use it. And why you use the Akashic information is because there's healing there. Mm-hmm. 5,000 years ago, what was my diet like? It was probably a lot better than it was today. I can bring healing from there. You know what I mean? And stuff. So this is why we've got this beautiful matrix surrounding us, and it's supporting us. That the planets are supporting our moving forward. Any trouble that we have, it's just things that we got to let go of. No, well,
and I think that brings us back to a beautiful point here for the show of looking at, if people are anxious through the week, use the mantra.
Yes.
Remind yourself, anxious, breathe, anxious, breathe. Do that through the week. Also, as we're moving into this new thing, and these energies are, you may not understand all of the, I don't understand all of the words of, astrology and Akashic Records and this and that. I'm just a teeny tiny baby learning some of these. But if you don't understand any of that at all, just know that there's lots of energies, and you're going to feel it as energies and maybe pressure and heavy.
Yeah.
But that what it is that it's this energy is getting ready is to change us in good ways. Some of it feels scary, but that as we ground ourselves and as we learn and take care of ourselves in different ways and do different healing, this is going to bring all of that. So even though it feels really heavy, know that it's just that we're just going through a door into the next thing, and that it's not, that it actually is not scary on the other side of that door. It's actually going to be even more, really even exciting once you see it.
You'll have more layers of your true self coming through, rather than all the layers that were put on us.
And so you'll be, and when you're sleeping, that veil between the places is thinner. So when you do sleep, go to sleep with an intention, with a question, with a whatever, and then take whatever that kind of like just rocking back and forth a little bit, because that's all you could do that day. And then a little bit more and a little bit more. When you take that question to sleep with you, and you ask your higher self to help you with that, then when you wake up in the morning, you might have had a vivid dream, or might have a bunch of things that don't fit. If you want, writing them I would be careful writing them down. I would verbally put them into a note, and then just let yourself feel and understand it, because our intuition is when you feel something in your gut and when you get quiet and listen. Whereas the communication we've been used to is jump in and interact and rush, and in American society, it's rush, do, right?
Yeah.
This is us starting the journey to learn how to slow down, to listen, and that we're going to change all of our structures in the world such that we won't have to rush to survive. We will be able, it'll actually be beneficial to slow down, and we will all still be able to be helping each other survive. And I have no idea where all of that just came from, TDubs.
Isn't it beautiful though? This is where we're going. You're in tune to where we're moving to as a race, as a species.
So will you come back again? Let's do this again. Let's do this again. Fun. And you guys watch on Sunday morning, Spirit Sessions, View of the Light, and come back next week for more Show Me Your Nuts. And we will dig into something else. I can't remember what next week is, but it'll actually, I can look at what next week is. Next week. Next week's gonna be fun. We're talking about tools that create breakthroughs with my friend Michelle Walters, and she has I'm not going to give it all away, but we're going to be talking about hypnosis. So we're going to be talking about that connection with our higher self again next week. So
I love it.
Anything before we close from you?
Yeah, real fast. A lot of the thoughts that keep recurring in our head often came before we were the age of 9.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are still doing them. It's simple to catch them and to work with them in many different kinds of artistic ways and stuff. So you don't have to be a prisoner to those recurring thoughts and those old arguments with grandma. You can change them. So there's hope.
Show us your neurographic again, the one you've got, one of the ones you've got there.
Here's one I kind of wanted to show you guys. This is what I've done. That's a reading. And so the whole thing has meaning, which I always write down on back, and then I infuse it with the art and put that all over it. You see that dragon there?
So follow Teresa and look at next time. Do you have a class coming up? Do you have any classes coming up?
It's in 2 weeks on a Saturday. So
okay, so definitely follow and to find out about that class 2 weeks from now. And if I get the information, I'll put it back in the show description. And we're doing this on April 9th. So if you catch us before then, make sure and go over and look at that so that you can dive in and learn more about yourself through that class. Because anytime you're in a class with Teresa, you're going to learn about yourself, and you're going to do something. You're going to do something fun. Fun's the word I always, because you're always enjoying yourself every time I see you.
Oh, thank you. That class is on the 18th, and it's on a Saturday, and probably be around 12:30. I'll put out a post, and we're working with the joy of creative magic, and I'll be pulling fairy cards for everybody that shows up.
Ooh, so the joy of creative magic. So you'll be able to tap into your higher self and your other side and create something. Are they going to do a creation at the time?
We're working on the neurographic art. Oh, well,
so there'll be a creative thing you'll be able to create.
Yeah. So what we're doing in my class is we have one thing. This is like a journal. And so every 2 weeks we have a class, we work on a new one. But what I didn't show was the cards that I've made are going to be like affirmation cards. I honor my effort and my becoming. And so each week we make 2 new cards and I color them. These ones are my newest ones, so they're not colored yet. By
Are
the
those
end of the
eventually-
class, you got a whole deck of affirmation cards that you've worked on yourself.
that
You know what
you've
I mean?
infused your own energy into?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Too much fun, huh?
maybe. Yeah. I think definitely, because you'll have a good sized deck. The next time you come back, let's look at the deck.
Ooh, let's do that. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I have thoroughly enjoyed and appreciate you so much for being here. I'm gonna make the hearts come up somehow. There we go.
Thank you.
And yours are floating. So I've thoroughly enjoyed being here. I will see everybody next week, same time, to show me more of your nuts. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because that helps. Like, share, and subscribe the Breakthrough Show Network, because that really helps all of us over here, so that we can. I think it's kind of like all of us tend to bring the breakthroughs.
Yeah.
That's like what, and we don't even plan it. We don't plan it with each other, and all of a sudden the same topics come up in all the shows, even when we're not recognizing it. So, because the other show right before you guys on Sunday morning is Rise and Shine.
Sundays,
Sundays with Jamie Rich and crew. And this week, I believe they're talking some more about change.
Ooh.
I saw the question, but I'll let you guys, 10 a.m. Central on Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Central on Sunday morning for spirit sessions. So we'll see you guys then, and we'll see you guys next week here.
Thank you for joining us on this nutty adventure. Remember, personal growth and wellness are journeys best taken together. Keep exploring, keep growing, and don't forget to show me your nuts next time.